Hi, well, welcome back to business. In the first part, we went over the first steps about inviting, presenting, and closing. And I wanted to go ahead and do a separate recording then on some common objections. As we did talk about in the last recording, don't be afraid of objections. It's a good thing. When people are giving you reasons why they think it might not work, that means that they still have an interest in learning more about the information. At any point that they stop asking questions, stop saying, I don't know, then it's over. So be okay with people providing objections, but you need to be prepared in knowing how to answer them. Okay, there's going to be typically the same objections for most people. So when you know what the objections are, and then you prepare yourself with how to answer them, then you'll feel more confident and better able during your closing with a prospect and how to overcome those, answer their questions, and then hopefully move on to the next step of enrolling them either as a customer or a business partner. Okay, so one long used method is called the feel, felt, found method, in showing the prospect that you understand how they feel and are not discounting their questions because you once felt the same way when you started, but you found. And then that's where you fill in the blank. So it's, I understand how you feel because I felt the same way, but I found. And that's when you insert the education that you learned that helps you overcome the same objections that they're having. So one of the most common, obviously, is the I have no money. Okay, we hear that a lot. And so you want to tell a story about how you can relate. I was having a hard time paying bills, but I asked myself, if nothing changes, what changes? And I really like that statement. If nothing changes, what's going to change? Are you going to always continue to have a hard time paying bills? Or are you going to try to invest in yourself and maybe make a change? So you want to share stories of how others saved up for their enrollment package, or maybe they sold unneeded household items to earn the money. And again, with our program, we have a very modest enrollment package and monthly bundle package. You can get started in our business for $59.95. That's it. So go sell a few things, some clothes, kids' toys that aren't being used anymore, get the money to do it. We do recommend, the $99.95 Kickstart package, but if somebody is struggling and can only do the $59.95, that's perfectly okay. And then with the monthly, $44.95, most everybody starting out brand new is going to do that package. There's no reason that they need to move to the 100. That's a better business deal, and eventually you do want to get to that point, but that doesn't mean that you have to start there. Okay. Share how they can even pre-sell product and take orders, almost like a home party. You can provide for them, the link to the company website with the product guide. They can either use that as a digital link to share the information about the products, or if they wanted to print off any of that. And then basically just take some orders in advance. Collect the money from the customer and then let them know that within such time frame they will be receiving their product. So sell the product before you enroll and get it ordered. And then also share how our team members can earn back their initial investment within the first month. Again, if you're doing, $60 for an enrollment, even if you do the $99.95, $100 enrollment, you can earn that back within the first month. If you're serious about sharing the product with others, and as a team, we do teach you how to do a business launch within your first month. So hopefully, you're getting rid of that product, you're selling it. It's not something that you're going to be sitting on. Okay. Another common objection is no time. So you can share how most team members start their business part-time. along full-time jobs or raising children in very busy lives. Almost everybody is in that same situation of just, again, having a busy life. So they're not any different. Share how building this business could be the solution to finding more time. And if your story doesn't match up with theirs, then tell a story of a team member that they can relate to. So maybe it is somebody that works full time, and maybe you don't. Maybe you do work your business exclusively and stay at home. So maybe you aren't able to share explicitly how you work the business around a full-time job, but there's plenty of people on our team that do. So share their stories. Share how there's leaders in the company who still work full-time jobs. So that's okay. Show them how they can do it too. So, you can ask them, if I can teach you a way to do this successfully in an hour a day, would this be of interest to you? Okay. Obviously, the more time that you invest, the faster your business grows, the more success you have, the sooner. But, it's being consistent. If you can dedicate an hour a day, or at least an hour 5 days a week, you can grow a business. Okay, another objection that we sometimes hear in our business is the candle price seems high. Okay, again, using that method that we talked about, you can say that you understand how they feel. At first, you felt the same way, but you found these are not your typical grocery store bought candles made out of low grade petroleum without much care for quality. Okay, yes, you can purchase those, but that's not what this is. This is a very unique candle made of natural palm wax with high-end fragrances at a price that is actually lower than the most popular competitor in the stores. And you can encourage them that, doing a search online will give results with even smaller candles that sell 3 to 5 times more. I'm always amazed when you do a search. There's candles that sell for $150 out there that are just little teeny weeny boutique size candles. So we have a really great product at a value. So share that with them. Our candles most often have the complaint that they last too long. You can share that, they burn about 80 hours on average. Could be more, kind of depends on how often you burn them, where you burn them, what scent you have, but they're going to be at least in 80 hours, and they're going to get more enjoyment out of that candle than having to buy several inferior candles to get that same burn time. So those are some I don't want to say comebacks, but some explanations when somebody gives you that objection that the candles seem high priced, because they're really not. Okay, so if they're concerned about being able to make money and they ask, how much are you making? Okay, you can kind of share that success depends upon many factors, their commitment level, their previous skill level, and their desire to make it happen. So regardless of how much you make, they have the opportunity to do that and even more. Okay. And we talked about this a little bit in the last recording too, that you can respond with a story, not necessarily a dollar amount. Instead of measuring success with money or numbers, then focus on the meaning. What has your business done for you? So share, in part-time hours, my business allows me to, then fill in the blank. Show them what your business has given you. Have you been able to pay for college for your kids? Do you make a car payment? Are you contributing to a retirement account? Are you able to generously give to important causes, things that are important to you? Or, plan an amazing family vacation. These are everyday things that people want to achieve. So show them that you're able to do 1 or 2 or more of these things with your business. You don't have to share that you make X amount of dollars, per month, because it's not really relevant to them and their success. Yes, there's money to be made, and they could easily make more than you if their commitment level exceeds what you're doing. Okay, another objection is, I'm not a salesperson. So share how you understand how they feel, because you felt the same way, but you found out it's not about complicated sales tactics and manipulation. Okay. Share that it's great if they don't view themselves in this way. We actually prefer that they aren't salesy salespeople. Okay, our business is about relationships and education. We provide information and we let others decide if the candle business is a good fit for them or not. And if not, that's okay. We don't talk them into anything that they'll later regret wasting your time, their time. So that's okay. It's really more about just sharing a product that you love and that you believe in. You believe that they will too. They'll love the product and they'll want to share it with others. And so again, it just goes back to sharing the stories. Why do you like this candle? Why do you like this company? Why do you like this team? Share the stories. And then using the tools, again, going back to the system in presenting the information. It's not necessary for you to be a sharp public speaker, a presenter up on stage with all the answers and flashy and manipulating people and getting them to commit to something that they later go home and then regret. That's not what we do. It's a waste of time. And it's, we have a reputation about not doing that in this company. So we don't want you to be a salesperson. We want you to be able to share stories, share why you love something. That's really what this business is about. Okay, so if somebody says to you, I need to try the products first. Maybe they've not ever burned a Mia Bella candle. You can share how our enrollment packages are very modestly priced. And if they're not comfortable starting with the $99.95 or the $119.95, then it's perfectly okay to enroll with a lower $59.95 package. The main thing is they get started, get some product, and try it. So it's okay to start with the $59.95. Inform them there's no contract, there's no long-term commitment. They can cancel at any time. So even after getting that very first package, if they decide it's not for them, they simply call the company and unenroll. They're not committed long-term. Okay. And you can share that it's rare after experiencing a Mia Bella that anyone would want to burn any other candle, but they can cancel, again, even after the first month. And if after trying the initial product kit, they decide that the business is not for them, well, then they spend just a modest amount to get 6 premium candles at wholesale to try. They can gift those candles. They can use them for themselves. And maybe, again, they like the product, but maybe they decided that the business isn't for them. Okay, well, then they don't have to continue on in the business, but they were able to buy some high-end candles at wholesale. So those are how you answer that. Okay, so those are some of the most common objections that you will hear and how to overcome them. So prepare yourself with those answers so that you know how to address that with your prospect. Okay, and then the next thing I wanted to share a little bit is the referral rewards program. Maybe you've done a good job of sharing the information about our products and the business, but the prospect doesn't see it as a match for them, or maybe just not right now. Okay. So you can certainly, tell the prospect that I build my business on referrals. Who do you know that this might be good for? I'd be happy to gift you for your help in sharing my business or, giving me a referral. And again, you're the business owner. You can decide how you would want to fill in that blank with what you would gift somebody, but you could certainly offer a discount off of a purchase. Especially if they're local where you can discount the product and they're not buying from you online. You can give them a scent sway or a fragrance oil or a Bella bar. So nice items that cost you very little in your wholesale cost in order to reward somebody for sharing the information about your business with others. And then view it as an investment in growing your business. It is a tax write-off anytime that you use product yourself to promote your business or product that you give away, either as a gift with purchase or additional product as a reward for them helping you to grow your business. So definitely view that as an option. If the person isn't ready to do it right now, maybe they know somebody that would, and you'd be certainly happy to help provide them some product for their assistance. Okay, so what does no mean? Okay, you are going to hear no. You have to recognize this. It's a normal part of the process. Okay, our products and our business won't be for everyone, and that's simply okay. But Also understand that no could mean that they still need more information to make a decision. And that's where you go back to those steps of, presenting a tool, answering their questions, checking their interest level. If they're not quite ready, then you turn around and provide another tool and more information and just go through those steps until they decide that they have enough in order to make the decision to enroll. Okay, and a no, it isn't always forever. It could very simply mean not right now, that the timing isn't right. And you've heard Allison and I talk many times about people that have been on our email list for months, but even years, who came into our systems through an ad or finding us on social media or an event that we did, and the timing just wasn't right then, but we continue to send them information about the business, the products, and at some point they decide that their life has changed, they're retiring, their kids are going to college, they need to earn some extra income, so now they're ready. And if you've kept in front of them, then they're going to think of you when that time is right for them. So no doesn't mean no, you did something wrong, or no, you got a bad product in a bad company. That's not what it means. So you got to put your mindset in a different perspective and not take it personally. So what you want to do with somebody that does tell you no is put them into your business prospecting email list. Hopefully, you grow your business to a point where you have a system that helps you do that. So you can kind of craft one email and then it goes out to everybody on your list. Invite them to your Facebook VIP group. And again, on our training site, we have training videos, recorded videos on both of those, how to grow an email list and how to develop a VIP group. Encourage them to like or follow our team Facebook business page. So if you don't have a desire to have your own VIP group, then encourage them to like the team page, because again, every day we're posting on that information about the products, the business, the team. So if they're looking at that, they're going to get information on an ongoing basis, and then you'll be able to follow up with them at some point to see if their interest is a yes down the road. So that it's really a unique thing that we have that opportunity to introduce our customers and business prospect to the fragrance of the month. It's incredible that the company comes up with a brand new scent every month. That's not easy for them to do. The process of getting the fragrance oils from the company that provides the scents and testing them, and then figuring out the right amount of wax, the size of the wick. There's a lot that goes into developing a new scent. So it's an incredible thing that the company gives that to us. And that's always a reason to go out to your email list and touch base with them again. And then of course, any discounts or specials that the company offers with our online website sales, with the free shipping has tended to be the most prevalent discount as of late, but you can certainly offer your own discounts or specials or enrollment incentives. And so on your customer list, you also want to occasionally let them know about the business, that they have an opportunity to get their candles at wholesale. And that's a good way of doing it too, is not necessarily maybe even taking, again, if you're listening for clues, and you can kind of get that they might be able to become a business partner, but they're not looking at it as, yeah, I want to join and start a business. You can ask them, do you want to pay retail for your candles, or do you want to pay wholesale? And I mean, who wouldn't say, well, wholesale, tell me more about that. And then you have the opportunity to share our Scent Saver program, where they save 20% off of their product, or if they want to save even more, then they can enroll as a distributor and save up to 50%. And then you always want to kind of keep your stories going, making your emails and communications and posts on social media personal, showing how the business, well, one, showing that you're still in business years later, so that when they are ready to go to you and make it happen. But, continue to show what the business is doing for you. Share the fun things that you're doing and the things that the business allows you to obtain. Okay, so in summary, part one was about three things, and that is prospecting or inviting others to take a look at the information. Okay, Part two is, well, I shouldn't say part two because this is part two video, but the step two is presenting or sharing the information. And the best way to do that is through using the tools, and your team has provided multiple tools for you to use to just direct people to find out the information. If your prospect begins to ask a lot of questions and you don't feel confident in being able to answer those, you can certainly say, hey, I'm new, I'm not sure about that, but I have a team who does know. I have a sponsor, I have an upline, and I know they're going to know the answers. So get them on a three-way. We talked about three-way phone calls, three-way text, include your sponsor into it, loop them into those questions so that they can answer it for you in an effective way, but then also show the team support that they will be provided as well. So use the tools, use the systems, and your sponsor or upline to help you in sharing your Mia Bella business. You do these things consistently over and over and over, you will grow a successful business. And that's all I have for you tonight. Then on the last step there on overcoming objections and using the referral program. So if you have any questions, be sure to post them in our Light Your Dream Team Facebook group and we'll get those answered for you. But otherwise, thank you for taking a look at the recording. We'll get that up on our training site. So thanks so much.